Whether it's roaming the grasslands or sneaking around urban areas, this Pokemon's insatiable hunger for power can never be satisfied. With the strength to absorb lightning bolts and the power to shut down cities, it would be wise to stay out of this Pokemon's way. Welcome, Electivire. Roaming the grasslands, you might mistakenly think you hear the joyful laughter of children playing in a rainstorm. However, it is more likely you hear the giddy sounds of Elekid. Just hearing the sounds of a thunderstorm will instantly improve Elekid's mood, even if the sound is coming from a recording. Elekid become restless and fidgety, showing off its vital spirit, having the strong urge to play in the rain, hoping to get struck by lightning, being able to absorb this massive amount of energy and then discharge it at anyone or anything that threatens it or invades its territory. It does have the ability to generate its own electricity by winding its arms around very quickly. The downside is that Elekid does not have the endurance to maintain this motion for very long, becoming exhausted after only a few rounds. Because of this, it's only able to charge a small amount of energy, and Elekid isn't even able to store the electricity it generates or produces, discharging it or losing it pretty much right after it generates it. Instead, particularly in urban areas, Elekid will break into people's houses looking for electrical outlets with the master plan of eating the electricity through that source. Once full, the horns will glow a light blue. It must be careful as it sneaks its way out, because if it touches anything metal, it'll discharge all over your house. It also stays on the lookout for that rat of a Pokemon Togedemaru, as they both have the same master plan of stealing electricity from people's houses. You might think that this feisty baby Pokemon is perfect, but similar to the Death Star, it has a weak spot right between its horns. Land a hit there and Elekid goes night-night. So it adapted and is able to maintain an electrical current between the horns, meaning if anything flies between the two horned towers, pop goes the weasel. Or it'll result in one of its abilities, static activating, meaning you become paralyzed. If as a Pokemon trainer you're interested in taking this little iPhone charger as a companion and you're worried about running up your electric bill, let me put your mind at ease. While it can subsist exclusively on electricity, it can supplement that food source with more natural plant materials such as berries. Now just look at the shape of this Pokemon and you can easily see the shape of an egg, referencing the fact that Elekid is a baby Pokemon, and being the baby form of Electabuzz can be thought of as a baby Oni, a Japanese ogre. Now their horns are based on AC power plugs, which is a pretty on-the-nose design. The lightning bolt fur pattern hints at its electrical prowess, and finally, the way Elekid winds its arms references an electric generator, which converts mechanical energy into electrical power. Elekid's name is going to be a combination of electric and kid. With the intense urge to eat up electricity, and with their evolution occurring at level 30, Electabuzz have expanded their habitat, migrating to living near power plants. This has resulted in blackouts and power outages as the Electabuzz consume all the electricity from the plants. Because of this, ground-type Pokemon are deployed and serve as guard dogs, ensuring these Electabuzz don't devour all the electricity. Truth be told, many of these blackouts, however, are not the fault of Electabuzz, but the negligence and mistakes of the company themselves. They're just being absolute baguettes and blaming Electabuzz instead of taking responsibility. They are commonly used as an alternative to lightning rods as they are unharmed by the absorption of electricity, and in some regions, Electabuzz are used as backup generators during outages. There is ongoing research in using Electabuzz as a storage unit for electricity. However, it is in the preliminary stages because Electabuzz are constantly leaking more electricity than they can absorb, which makes them pretty ineffective at being a storage unit. Now, for the Electabuzz that still live in the grasslands, there is fierce competition for spots that are likely to be struck by lightning, like high up in the trees. This behavior increases during torrential downpours. Now, despite competition for these sources of energy, they can communicate non-verbally through electrical currents, and they'll use this type of communication to formulate plans to seize nearby power plants, which are full of electrical treats. As seen in Pokemon the series episode Showdown at Dark City, red is not a color you want Electabuzz to see, as they are sent into an absolute frenzy when that color enters their oculars. Now, there is scientific backing to support this type of behavior, as the color red is commonly associated with things like revenge and anger, and there are actual studies that show that when you're exposed to or wear the color red, it results in elevated blood pressure, enhanced metabolism, increased heart rate, increased respiration rate. All of these physiological changes naturally cause your energy levels to spike. And I also find it interesting that Electabuzz's shinies they're orange. They're not red, but they're orange. And I wonder if that color has a similar impact on their behavior. Now, while in battle, Electabuzz will windmill their arms to build up electrical energy for a supercharged Thunder Punch. However, this is a drawn-out process, and the opponent will commonly use this time to escape or smash Electabuzz's face in. However, if it's able to get fully charged, Electabuzz will shine and glow a light blue color from the electrical charges that are running across its body. And on a quick side note, Electabuzz has got to have the best anime cry of any Pokemon I've ever heard. Just take a quick listen to this.
Electabuzz, hook attack back!
Electabuzz is based on that Oni that I had mentioned earlier, which is a horned ogre, often depicted as wearing tiger pelts. Thus, we see features present in Electabuzz's design, those tiger stripes. They are also occasionally worshipped Oni that are as thunder gods, such as the Raijin. Thus, this connects to the electric typing to Electabuzz. The Were-Tiger from Dragon Quest and Electabuzz seem to bear several similarities. Additionally, the tail of Electabuzz resembles that of a tiger. Its horns may be based on the Tesla coils, and then the name Electabuzz is a combination of electric and buzz. With an incredible amount of electrical power, either from a lightning bolt, huge amounts of electrical consumptions from power plants, or stored energy from the Electorizer, and the requirement of being traded depending on what game you're playing, the Thunderbolt Pokemon Electivire explodes onto the scene. Known to be an incredibly violent and short-tempered Pokemon, it will oftentimes charge into battles Rocky Balboa style, and using its vital spirit, it'll tank hits while throwing haymakers packed full of electric fury. It not only has very impressive physical strength, but is widely known as the best electric-type Pokemon for electrical energy output, meaning it can discharge electrical energy very, very quickly, and it gives it the ability to fry opponents crispier than crispy Kentucky Fried Chicken. They will use their two tails to attach to their foe, completing a circuit that will unleash 20,000 volts of electricity. These tails can also be used to recharge Electivire, and once fully charged, blue sparks can be seen alternating or flying between their two horns, and their fists are now two balls of electric power, or they are able to use Thunder Punch. Now, the more pumped up and excited Electivire gets, the more power it is able to produce, as the power is dependent on their pulse or their heartbeat. You will know that their pulse is getting up there as they will pound their chest, letting loose showers of sparks and thundering roars. And don't even think about using an electric move on this Mon because they are immune, and actually, thanks to their motor drive ability, their speed will spike when hit with an electric type move, making them an absolute unit in battle. Even though they commonly compromise the power grid as they siphon off a ton of electricity from power plants, houses, or pretty much anywhere really, they also are able to produce enough electricity to power a city. Now keep in mind that while they do prefer the taste of lightning or electricity, berries will work in a pinch, as we've seen in Pokemon the series Ruby and Sapphire episode Home is Where the Start Is. Electivire shares very similar inspirations as Electabuzz. It too is connected to the Oni. Its shaggy appearance seems to resemble the Namahage, which is a demon portrayed by men wearing Oni masks. They closely resemble the Yeti or Bigfoot, depending on the location, as well as having similarities to a gorilla and orangutan. The antenna or horns are based on the Tesla coils, and the circular symbol on its back resembles an electrical outlet. Electivire's name is a portmanteau of electric and live wire. There we have the entire evolution line of Electivire, and all of these Mons I absolutely adore. I think they are so well designed. I like electric type Pokemon. I think they look awesome. They're just really, really cool Mons. I do wish that the tiger element found in Electabuzz was present in the other two Mons, as well as the lightning bolt on the chest of Elekid and Electabuzz. I wish that was present on Electivire, but all in all, what a fantastic Mon. I would love to know your thoughts of Electivire down in the comments below. Oh, not just Electivire, on the other two Mons as well. Additionally, if there are other Pokemon you'd like me to do this series on, please, please, please let me know down in the comments. Check out some of our other videos, the openings, the other lore videos, and also thank you so much for the support that you give to the channel. It really does mean a lot. And I'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.